You know, the topic of dating has reached its apex of stupidity once we're having think piece discussions about random women who are strangers deciding that they would rather be stuck in a forest with a bear other than a man who is a stranger. You're not asking these questions, right? You need to ask the women in your family tree that question and see if you get the right answer you seek. And if they still choose the bear, that lets me know something about you. But instead of us wasting our time on that, we are instead going to ask the men the question while the women ponder about the accuracies of being stuck in the woods with a bear. Men, let's paint up a scenario. You are going about your daily life, and all of a sudden you see a woman and you think, oh my God, she is magnificent. You try to speak to her, you run a little bit of game, and you get the phone number, and you ask the girl, hey, you want to go on a date? The date goes successful, you go on more dates, she becomes your girlfriend, and then after a few months, maybe a few years, you decide, all right, which one of my ACLs am I going to risk in order to propose to this woman? You propose, she says yes, and oh my God, it's so happy. You do the pose with the ring finger, and it's all happy rainbows and cookie butter. You start planning the wedding up until the point you got 2 months until the day you put on your best suit, she puts on that wedding dress, you say I do, she says I do, y'all kiss, and y'all go to Cancun to fuck, because that's the outlook of a honeymoon that I envision. But before you reach that, you get a phone call, and the phone call goes like this. Your fiance has been arrested, and you're trying to figure out what happened. They don't give you an answer, so you run all the way down to the police station. You get there, and you demand to know why they have arrested your wife, and they proceed to tell you that your wife cheated on you. And while you're shocked and heartbroken at that, you find out she's cheating on you with a fucking fifth grader.
Tonight, alarming allegations against an elementary school teacher. Our Alan Henry shows us the disturbing messages that put her behind bars.
Hudson police say an 11-year-old's parents made a shocking discovery on his phone Monday night. It started when they found the boy talking to his teacher on the phone after school. Curious and concerned, they took his phone and discovered months of text messages between them. One conversation where the victim says, haha bro, I just want to make out with you. His teacher responding, I do too, like all of the time. The next day, the parents went to Rivercrest Elementary, police were brought in, and the teacher taken out in handcuffs. 24-year-old Madison Bergman from St. Paul was charged with 1 count of first-degree sexual assault with a child. Documents detail a search of Bergman's belongings and her classroom. Several notes were found between the victim and Bergman, one in her desk, several more in a folder Bergman kept. Police summed them up, saying, quote, in her notes, she tells him that she loves him, wants to kiss him, he turns her on, and that she's obsessed with him.
Bergman made her first appearance here at St. Croix County Court Thursday afternoon. She was released on a $25,000 bond, but as part of the conditions, she was ordered not to have contact with anyone at Rivercrest Elementary or with anyone under the age of 18.
In a message to parents, the district encouraged families to limit the amount of texting and group chats that your child may be sharing and to review and monitor your child's phone messages. They're also offering mental health resources for students and families and will hold a meeting for 5th grade parents Sunday evening.
Jail, and no amount of understanding could possibly make me think, wow, you're someone who's troubled. You were married, you had a fiance, you weren't even married yet. You had to wait 2 months, and you would have been legally married to the love of your life. But I guess that 5th grader was raising you up so good in a way a strong, independent alpha male in his 20s couldn't possibly do. You're a sick individual, and I am glad that this dude saw this, heard this, and is embarrassed by it, but he's not coming to this bitch's defense. That wedding is off, and it needed to be off, and I feel for that man, because it's one thing to be cheated on. It's one thing to get your fucking heart broken. It's another thing to have all those things happen, and the perpetrator decides it would be great to cheat on you with a fucking 5th grader. Obscene types of behavior all around, and no defense possible could work for this. I know I'm segueing it to make it seem as if somebody's gonna come out of thin air and give you some excuse. There's no excuse. No random TikToker talking about feminism power is going to help try to educate the minds on why it's somehow perfectly fine for a grown adult who's a teacher to do such a thing with a 5th grader. Can't do it. I don't care that there might be one person out there. I'm not going to waste my time looking for it. If you're someone who's going to try to play defense for it, look me in my withered eyes and hear my beautiful lips speak these words. Fuck you and her. No amount of bad bitch material you could come up with could make me say, wow, she's the victim. No, she victimized somebody, embarrassed a bunch of people, and now she gets to hang out with Big Frida. And that's the only consequence worthy sick fucks like that. And once again, if you mad at me for making jokes like that, fuck you too, because you're showing sympathy to somebody who violated a child, and you are also sick. But in the meantime, let me know, men, are you also going to follow in the footsteps of this embarrassed, heartbroken man and cancel the wedding? Or are you one of these people that can learn to forgive and forget? And if you are one of those people, I respect you for the choices you make. Just don't bring that shit around me, because I will ultimately be the problem for you. I will laugh at you. I will call everybody around you a bunch of groomers, and I will not be cordial knowing that your fiance, your wife, diddled kids and cheated on you with a child, and you seemingly just forgave that. That's your piece. It ain't my piece. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.